Hey everybody, this is Matt with my Model Y adventure, and today I have a very cool product. This is a car charger from Autel, their MaxiCharger AC Lite. I reached out to them because I see a lot of questions from folks around various chargers and how they can charge their car from home. Should I get Tesla? Should I get someone else's? And I have a Tesla wall connector over here that I'm gonna replace with this one and kind of walk through what the installation steps are, some of the differences between this one as well as the one that's from Tesla. And I am not an electrician, just putting this out here. So if you, of course, are looking to install one, this is not a guide. This is just simply a educational video of kind of what my steps are, but I have all the instructions here, the actual charger. And I do want to add that this is a one that's specifically for cars with the NACS charge port. So it'll work on Teslas or any of the other brands that are changing their car charger ports from J1772 to NACS. Kind of the first steps I'm going to do kind of off camera is taking this one down. This was installed by a electrician earlier. I did already turn off the breaker. I'll kind of show that next. You do want to make sure you turn it off before you proceed with anything. And then I'll walk through kind of what the installation steps are on this one. So stay tuned. Before you begin any work on installing your EV car charger, make sure your breaker is turned off. Mine right here, car charger, 2931, 2931. Flipping it off. That way I make sure when I start installing, messing with the wires, I'm not going to get zapped, hurt myself, or potentially worse. Here I have all of the pieces from the package. I've just basically taken everything out. I have removed the Tesla wall connector from the wall. In the package comes the actual charge unit or charger with the NACS handle. There's the mounting bracket here, which goes on the wall. Some screws to secure everything to the wall, some drywall anchors or maybe concrete ones. I don't know for sure. In the event that you need to drill into concrete, and then some instructions. And you know, some nice things that they have here are actual labels that you can put on the breaker to correspond to everything. And then you have the sticker here that goes on the actual the outside of the charging station. So what I'm going to go through next is just basically getting the bracket put onto the wall so I can secure the charger itself to the bracket. Go through the wiring with you. It's extremely simple. There's only 3 wires that exist here with it. So let me get everything situated so I can go through that, and then I'll get the phone onto a stand here and walk you through everything. So to secure the Autel charger to the wall, it comes with this bracket. So I'm just going to mark here. You can see I have, you can't see up here, but here's a drywall screw right here. These are the 2 existing locations where the Tesla charger was. You can see another screw right here. So there's a stud that's right in line next to the metal conduit here. So I'm just going to put this slightly above where the wall charger was. And you're basically just going to mark 2 holes here. So you can, I don't know if you can see through the hole right here, but there's a drywall screw here. I'm going to go slightly up, mark a hole there, mark a hole there. And then basically you need to use a 5/16 bit to pre-drill so you don't crack or ruin your studs. So let me go grab the 5/16 drill bit and drill a hole for the screws. So I have my drill bit here. Just going to go ahead and drill into where the holes are marked. And I could feel I was getting into the stud with that one. You can kind of see some of the, let me get it on the camera, the wood there. Do the same thing for the lower mount. Same thing, I could feel I was getting into a stud. So the next steps, you can actually secure the mount to the wall with the included screws. Let me grab that. the other one before I put that one all the way in. It's just a 10mm bolt here, so I'm just going to secure it with, or a screw. There we go. So that's secured on there, and then the next steps you want to do is actually put the charger onto the mount. So let me raise the camera up a little bit here so you can see that. There we go. So on the back of the charger, there's those two studs that are kind of protruding out. Those are going to slide into each of these slots here. And then at the bottom, there's the one black screw that came in the kit that you're going to secure the charger to the mount with that one screw. So let me slide this into here. There we go. Oh, only got one side in. There we go. So let me get that screw, and I'll put the screw into the bottom here to secure the charger to the wall. Well, actually, there is one thing I do want to show. So on the screw, to see if it can focus there is a security, it is a security bit, Torx bit on here. So included in the package, they include kind of these Allen wrenches, and it has the hole in the end of the bit there that you can see. You need to use this obviously because your standard bits are not going to fit into here because it has the camera can focus. There we go. The extra bit there, circle piece. So use this when you're securing the screw into the bottom of the charger. All right, I just finished putting the screw in, and this thing is not coming off the wall. It's not going anywhere. So it is very, very securely mounted on there. So kind of the next step at the bottom down here, there are two screws. They're T10 screws that you need to remove so you can take the faceplate off the charger. Let me grab those, or the screw bit really quick so I can take those off and show you what's inside. Well, this is actually where the other Allen kind of key that they come, or they include with the kit comes into play, because the bottom screws down here, they are the same security screws, which is great. So if you're mounting this outside, that's awesome to have the security screws on there so no one can just come up and unscrew everything and try to steal it. This is protecting everything hidden with these security screws. So awesome for Autel to kind of think of that. I know the Tesla wall connector does not have security screws. Oops, sorry, I just kicked the camera stand there. They just have kind of their standard set without security on it. So if you're in an area that you want to mount this outside, just another great consideration point to have in mind. So once you remove the two screws down here, this kind of faceplate just pops off. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws you have to remove on the outside. These are the security bits again. So I'm just gonna unscrew these ones offline, or off the video, I should say, because you're taking the faceplate off and then taking this kind of cover off. So let me get the screws out for that, and then I will be right back. I have removed there's actually 11 screws, 3 in the top, 4 on each side here, and then 4 on the bottom. And then you can just grab kind of where this green circle is and pull, and it will take it off. There is you can see easier this side, a connector here. You do have to kind of squeeze to remove this, and that just comes right off. Set this off to the side, and then you're going to actually get into the wiring. So there's some ports down here that you can remove to, I'm going to basically use this one here. Whoop, took that one off to install it. So let me get this out of here. Oh, wrong way. Go. So got that out. They do include this awesome port connector here that you're going to use to basically secure the wires into here and then run them up into where this is. So let me make sure I have I think I have everything here. Let me get a screwdriver that I'm going to need for here for the wire so I can get that going. Before I go to screwdriver, so I have the kind of port here, or the conduit for the wires to run through. Basically gonna have this part here on the bottom. This part gets inserted into the bottom here, and then you have the kind of lock nut. And it is kind of a tight space in there, so I would probably say it'd be easier to screw from the bottom kind of into this lock nut. There we go. All right. So that's in there nice and tight. Then you can kind of feed the wires into here. Make sure you put it through this kind of lock nut washer on the bottom first. So let me get these wires run up into here, and then we'll walk through how to secure them into the actual wall charger itself. So give me just a few minutes to do that. All right, so I have the wires run up through the bottom. The other nice thing, and the same with the Tesla wall connector, is there is a back port. So if you're coming straight from the back of the wall, you can put them right through here. But I've run mine through here, and this is just for kind of demonstration purposes. So we wouldn't want to have the conduit end here and then the wires be exposed here, obviously, for safety. And on the wall connector, there's the 3 screws here. I mean, the wires here. 1, 2, 3. It's line 1, line 2, and then a ground. There is no kind of neutral that's needed. Both of these combined then make the 240 volt. So you can unscrew these. And then for me, at least, this is how my setup is. Yours, of course, may be different. I have line 1 as red, line 2 as black, and then ground right here as the white and green wire. So let me insert these into the ports. They need to be tightened down to, I think it's like 15, 16, 17 pounds, or inch pounds, I think it is. Let me look at the, yeah, 17.7 inch pounds. So let me insert these in here and then tighten them down, and then be able to put everything back on, and put the breaker back on to test, make sure everything is working. Oh, I do want to add, before I put these in here, they do want the wire stripped down to 1/2 inch. So I'm going to get some of my wire cutters and cut these down, so that way they are the size you want, because you obviously don't want the wires, when they're inserted here, any part of it exposed and potentially making contact with the wire right next to it. Everything is all wired up here with my line 1 and 2 and ground. The last step is you need to configure the wall connector charger to be based on whatever your circuit breaker and amps that you have. So for me specifically, I need to set this to position number 5. And how to do that is, there is this kind of dial wheel right here. And you would rotate it with just kind of a flathead screwdriver. So let me get this here, put it in here. There we go. Now I'm in position 5. That's what I need for me based on my specific electrical needs. Now, once you've set your dial to whatever position number it is based on your needs, you just do the reverse of removal. So I'll connect the plug here into the kind of faceplate screen, that's inserted. Put this back into here. Use the 11 screws to kind of secure this onto here. I'll put the faceplate on, and then I'll go put the, or turn the circuit breaker on. So you obviously don't want to watch me just put in 11 screws. So let me put all these back on. I'll put the faceplate on, and then I'll leave the camera running and go turn the circuit breaker on, and you'll be able to see these lights light up. As you can see, the faceplate is back on. So I'm gonna run down to my basement, turn the breaker back on, and come back up. So give me, I'll leave the camera running just so you guys can watch, but give me like 2 minutes to be able to go inside, go down to the basement, move some boxes out of the way of my panel, and turn this on. All right, I turned it on. You can see the power LED is lit. Now we have to configure the wall charger through the Autel app. So I'm gonna leave, or take a picture, leave this showing in the background, but it'll show up on the screen now what the app interface looks like. All right, so with this screen recording, I just basically have the Autel app opened, and here I'm just entering in my email and then clicking the agree and continue button for kind of my safety, or for my privacy. I've blurred out the keyboard and the email field, so you won't be able to see what that is, but you're just entering that in. There's a little verification piece you have to put in, or puzzles that you have to slide, and it's going to send an email to you with a verification code. So you're going to get that code from your email. It's a 4-digit number, and then put it into the Autel app. So here I'm just putting in what that number is, hitting the continue button. It came very quickly, within a matter of 4 or 5 seconds. And then you're going to make what you want your own password to be. It has to be between 8 and 64 characters. You have to have at least 2 of the following, either letters, numbers, or symbols, and then choose your location. So once you do that, it's going to ask you to find Bluetooth devices that you have to connect to. You do have to hit the allow button, as you need to be able to find the charger via a Bluetooth connection first in order to configure it. So you can select whether you're doing a home charger, or maybe you're at a public charger setting this up, for your business. For my case, I'm hitting home charger, and you can either select one of the 2 options, automatic search or add manually. In this case, I'm just trying automatic search to see if it would find it. I tried, I think twice here, by clicking that retry button, just to see if it would work to find it. And if it didn't work, I just hit that little X button, and I'm going to do it manually. And then it's going to ask you to scan the QR code. So here I just have the manual that's up. It tried to scan the other code to the right, which is why it wasn't working, and it's saying that it doesn't exist. So I'm going to put the data in manually, where you just put in the serial number for the charger, as well as the PIN number that's on that piece of paper. For, again, my privacy, I'm going to blur out what the serial number and PIN is. For me, you can use whatever values are provided on your charger documentation from Autel when you do purchase the charger. So just entering those values in here, just going to wait a second for that to be completed. And then click at the link button at the bottom. And it's going to start trying to connect. You'll get a little pop-up saying it wants to pair with your phone. It's going to be the device ID for the charger, which again is the serial number. And From there, you're going to set up a Wi-Fi connection so you can monitor this directly from your phone, just like you would any other charger. Find your Wi-Fi network, enter in what the password is. It's going to try to connect to your network, assuming you put in the proper credentials. Once it's configured, you're now kind of at the home page for the app where you can start customizing your things, adding in your charging plan, or finding public chargers that are available that you can use to charge your vehicle. So the first thing you want to do is set up auto start. You can do that after you connect the charging cable to your vehicle. So I'm also setting up the process here to find my vehicle, which just putting in TES, I spelled it wrong here, so ignore that. Choosing my model, my year, or my make, my model, in the year, and here there's multiple options for performance, not sure why, but that's what I have. And then you have to link the vehicle function. This is free for a limited time, but after that, it looks like Autel might charge for this. I don't have any details on what the pricing is for it, unfortunately. But to link it, I'm going to connect my Tesla account to the Autel charger. So here I'm putting in my Tesla email as well as my password for my Tesla account. I'm not going to show some of these things here as, you know, for my privacy, but you would use your Tesla credentials. And just for kind of easy here, I'm just going to, or the whole screen is blurred, but I'm just basically putting in my password and my username and clicking the sign in button. I do have two-factor authentication set up on my Tesla account. I highly recommend that. I'm going to have a separate video all about privacy things that you can set up with your Tesla account for your Tesla vehicle, and then physical privacy options within your Tesla to help with that. So in this step, it's asking me for that two-factor authentication code. I'm blurring out some of the screen here so I can access my two-factor authentication app to get whatever the number string is that I need to put in for my verification. And typing in that number string here. And then it's going to log in to my Tesla account from the Autel app once this is completed. And then it found my vehicle and connected it successfully. So I'm going to click that connect button on the bottom and click complete. So here are just some of the different settings. I just clicked that little auto start button on the bottom. That way you can start automatically charging the vehicle. Once it's connected, you can set up your rates for your electrical plan to put it in there. The other thing that you'll want to kind of call out is in the settings there, the amperage. So mine was set at 60 amps as a max, and 80% of that is 48 amps. So that's why you kind of saw that value there. Even though my actual circuit breaker is 60 amps. So I connected the charging cable to the actual vehicle, and it says EV connected, and it's actually then starting to charge. For my specific vehicle, I have a setting enabled for my charge schedule to not actually start charging until certain hours. So this is why it said that charging was suspended by the vehicle, because I just basically have to go into the actual vehicle and press the start charging button. But of course, I can delete that schedule now that I kind of have it here. And you'll see at the top it says charging resumed, because I went into the vehicle and hit the button to start charging. So the great kind of features with setting up schedules is you can do it directly from either your vehicle or also from the Autel app to schedule things. So you can see here, it's actually charging. And then I went through and hit the stop button again to kind of go through the process to just give you a sample cycle of what it would look like I clicked the button again to start charging, just to see what happened if you stopped it, started it, disconnected it, to see how the app would kind of support that. And you can see again, now started charging. So let me kind of show what it looks like in person, being able to use the charger. So I finished the entire configuration of the app and got to kind of show some things. And you can see it has the different lights illuminated for power. It's connected to the internet. It's actually charging and also has Bluetooth. The other nice thing, not applicable for me, but it might work for you, is RFID. So you can, say that you are putting this outside, but you got a couple of family members, but you want to restrict charging to just those specific vehicles or those that have the RFID, you can configure it so anyone who has the RFID tag can scan it and be able to use the charger. Those that do not will not be able to use the charger. Connected here to the car. It is currently charging. And let me just walk around here to the screen in the car. And you can see 78% is the current charge. Over here in the left, 48 amps out of 48, 239, 238 volts, 12 kilowatts is kind of what the max for the last charge session was. And my car is currently at 78% here. So you can kind of see it is working exactly as it should, delivering power to the vehicle. My charge limit is set to 80%. The other nice thing is, let me kind of show, is some of the aftermarket chargers do not natively kind of let you open your charge port with their charger. But here, this is just like the Tesla wall connector, which is great. Bring it close to here, press the button, and it opens the charge port. It also has a nice kind of easy handle to be able to store here. So that way when you're not using it, it can kind of stay safely out of the way. I just have the cord dangled right now around here for something else that I used to hang here. But you can wrap it around your charger. There is kind of a nice lip here, probably about a finger width tall. But you can wrap the cord around the entire charger when you're not using it. So let me kind of go over some of the, like a direct comparison side by side of the Autel charger versus the Tesla charger. They each have some advantages that the other ones do not offer. And you can kind of help make an educated decision of which one will work for you based on what your needs are. So, up on the screen here, I kind of have a comparison chart that Autel has, basically comparing their charger against the Tesla wall connector. I do want to add some things that are not on this chart before we get into it. The Autel charger was actually rated by CNET as the best EV charger for 2024. The other thing you don't see on here is price. So this you can pick up on Amazon. I'll include the link below. It is going to vary based on, when you're buying it, whether or not there's some promotions that are available or, Amazon Prime days or whatever. So I'm not going to list a price because it's going to vary based on when you're buying it. When I bought my wall connector from Tesla, that was $499 plus tax. So around $500. But some of the other things that you have with this that you do not have from Tesla, it's a slightly longer cable at 25 feet versus 24. You do have, as it says here, support for RFID, which you don't have from Tesla. It is a true 50 amp charger. Tesla's is only up to 48 amps, which means that if you want to get the maximum power, you have to install a 70 amp outlet, 70 amp breaker in your panel to go up to 50 amps. And it says, affordable charger cover. Tesla has different various options for colors, really not much there. But their app does have, some voice control features. So some things to consider when you're looking at it. The other kind of item I just wanted to call out here is that the Tesla wall connector, mounts to something. They don't have like a pedestal. The Autel charger, they do have a bundle, or you can buy it separately, but there is a charging station pedestal that you can actually mount this charger to. So if you were putting this, say, outside as you're a business and you want to put these out for your customers, or you want to put this on the side of your house but you don't have anywhere to mount it, or you want to put it, maybe at the end of the driveway or middle of the driveway, wherever you need to, there's a nice pedestal that Autel has that you can throw this on, or not throw, but mount onto the pedestal, so it's a permanent kind of installation here. So hope that this kind of video was valuable to give you insight to what charging options exist besides Tesla's wall connector, some of the features and kind of benefits that you won't have with the native Tesla one by going with this Autel charger. Feel free to drop any questions down below. But thanks again for watching. This was Matt with My Model Y Adventure.